Motu!
Hi everyone, I'm Sasha from Women's Fight News, and today joining me is New Zealand prospect Mea Motu. Mea, thank you for joining me. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you.
Good. And obviously you are now 5-0, so you're an undefeated fighter. So how does that feel so far?
It feels good, actually, really exciting.
And you've not long-term pro, have you?
Yeah, I just turned pro in October. No, would have been just after our lockdown, after we came out of lockdown last year.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
that's only a few months maybe?
A couple of months.
And you're wasting no time because 5-0, I mean, we're moving fast.
Yes. I just want to fight.
Yeah. And is that the plan? Like, how many fights are you looking to have per year?
As many as I can, probably try get so the goal last year was to get at least 4 to 5, and I got 4.
Yeah.
So this year I'm hoping to get at least 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
hope, fingers crossed.
Yeah. Why not? Keep active.
Yeah.
Why not?
As possible.
Yeah, definitely. And before, because obviously you've recently turned pro, so what was you doing beforehand?
I was doing amateur boxing before this, but I was always in and out, so I never committed fully. So I was always just oh yeah, I'll do a couple of fights and then I'll slack off and then go live my own life with family and friends and then play other sports like touch and tag and that. So
Yeah.
I mixed.
Yeah, but you've changed now. I mean, you went from a few fights to 4 to 10 a year.
Yeah.
So when did you start in amateurs then?
So I started amateur when I was 13 years old. Yeah, and that was my first fight. I did it for fitness because I was playing soccer. And then I really loved it and enjoyed it. It was fun, but then it kind of died out because there wasn't really much fights here, not much female fights. So that's why it was kind of getting boring. So I was like, oh, nah, I want to do other sports. So I just fluctuated in and out of boxing with as well.
Yeah, because I suppose boxing's so difficult, the training is so intense, and if you're not able to compete, to keep your motivation must be so difficult.
Yeah, it is. And then you kind of being that, you kind of lose interest after a while. Yeah,
definitely. So what success did you have in the amateurs then?
So I had a really good success with the amateurs. I think I won 5 New Zealand titles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A few Golden Gloves titles. I went to the Ringside Worlds and won the bout over there. And then I fought a lot of seniors when I was a teenage, when I was a kid, because there was just no females here in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just willing to fight. I just wanted to fight because it was just fun and I enjoyed it.
But then it sets you up well when you transition to seniors as well. Obviously, you've got that experience then.
Yeah, it did. It gave me experience fighting older women, and it made the fights a lot tougher, a lot harder. It was really tiring because they're fit and experienced, where I was just young and new. So it was good experience, yeah.
Yeah, and it's the strength as well, isn't it? Compared to a teenager to a woman, no matter what, the woman's going to be stronger.
Yeah, definitely. They're way stronger. They definitely hit harder, which I think I did fight old women because then I got used to that. So then when I came to fighting my own age, it was really weird. Hitting me or not?
Yeah. It's when you're training with resistance bands and then the resistance bands are taken away and you're like, oh, this is easy now, like fresh air.
That's exactly how it felt.
And obviously you're now pro. So what was that decision? How did that come about, making that transition from amateur to professional?
Well, I never ever thought I would go pro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I didn't think I was good enough. I
After
definitely,
all that amateur success, you still
yeah,
didn't think you were good enough?
no. And I
Wow.
wrong. I was like, nah, I'm not a puncher. I'm a pitter patter. I was like, no, pros ain't for me. But it was my coach, Isaac Peach.
Hmm.
He like contacted me and he was like, come down to my gym and come give it a go. And then I was like, okay. So I showed up at his house and then he's like, you want to go pro? And I looked at him like in my head. I said, fucking joke. I suck. You haven't because I hadn't been doing any boxing for years. Like I was out for like 8 years, I think.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah. And then so I was like, I suck. Like I'm really unfit and I just had a baby. And like, fine, you're gonna be a world champ. And I was like, really? And I looked at him like, he's crazy. And then so I was like, okay. So I just thought to myself, I'll give it a go. Like I want to get back into it anyway. So I was like, oh, why not? Yeah, I'll give it a go. And then like when I started training with him, he was like, nah, yeah, you definitely are. And then I was like, oh, he hasn't, like he's barely seen me. And then when I had my first fight, I was like, oh no, this guy is serious. Like he does believe in me. He is backing me. And he's never, like, from the day I walked into the gym, he's always said to me, like, you're going to be the next big thing. He's had
Yeah.
that much. And
Yeah,
I
that's
think,
amazing.
yeah, his encouragement that pushed me to make me be like, yes, okay, I want to do it.
Yeah.
And
And
I'm
I
glad that,
suppose, yeah, because I suppose as well, when someone's backing you as well and they've got so much belief in you, I mean, for your motivation, that must just be amazing, mustn't it?
yeah, it built my confidence. And I was like, looking at him like, I've like known Isaac in my amateur days, but like, I'm like, I felt like a stranger. So I'm like, he barely knows my style or anything. And he's like already believes in me. So that's what gave me the encouragement and the belief was just,
Yeah.
he was strong. Like you could feel it. You could feel it. He was like, and then his wife, oh my gosh, she's amazing. She just even believed me even more, which is just
Wow.
a boost.
Yeah, that's incredible. What a story
Yeah.
as well. I mean, if you weren't boxing for what, like 8 years, and then someone believes in you that much, you can't not take that opportunity, can you?
No, yeah, no. I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna give it a go. And then I was like, oh, I'm not looking back. I fell in love
No.
with it. Eh? It's way more fun than them amateurs.
Yeah. So I know a lot of boxers that say, they've done amateurs, but the pro game is just so much better. It's so much more fun. So,
It
yeah,
is like the passion, like oh, you just find the passion and the love for it.
yeah.
It's, especially when you've got a good like atmosphere, like a good set of team backing you. It makes it so much easier.
Yeah, because is there a few of you pro fighters at Peach Boxing?
Yeah, there's quite a few of us. We've got some really good top males. Like, yeah, we've got like David Light, Andre, Jerome. Jerome's another up and coming. And it's really good because like I look up to them and I'm like, wow, because they're such beasts. They're like, whoa, they hit heavy and everything. And they give everything, 110%. So I'm always like setting that goal, like I want to be up with their level. So it's good having those extra pros. And they're so supportive.
Yeah, and I think that's important in boxing. I always think it can be quite a lonely sport. It's just you. It's you in the ring. It's you having to train. If you've got a good team around you and good like stable mates, it must make such a difference.
It does. It does. It really does. Like people don't understand. Like, oh my gosh, I always used to think it was really lonely, but man, it feels so like such a family vibe, our gym. And every like when you're falling down, they're all there to pick you up and just carry you. So it makes a big difference. I've noticed the difference. I'm way happier. I love it, and I don't want to get out of it.
No.
I'm addicted now.
Yeah, you must be with the amount of fights you're doing because you must be constantly in a training camp. I mean, that's exhausting.
It is like, so I think I only had 2 weeks breaks in the Christmas holiday and straight back into it. Like just
Wow.
no, yeah, it is tiring, but it's worth it in the end. And it's good when you've got a good team that's training with you as well, and a coach that's always on your back.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you
Yeah,
love it so much, you're just going to do it, aren't you? I mean, I'm sure there'll be days where you're like, oh, I'm tired or a bit fed up, but I think that's important in boxing. I always think it can be quite a lonely sport. You know, it's you in the ring, it's you having to train. If you've got a good team around you and good like stable mates, it must make such a difference.
It really does. Like, people don't understand, like, oh my gosh, I always used to think it was really lonely, but man, it feels so like such a family vibe, our gym. And like when you're falling down, they're all there to pick you up and just carry you. So it makes a big difference. I've noticed a difference. I'm way happier. I love it. And I don't want to get out of it.
No.
I'm addicted now.
Yeah, you must be with the amount of fights you're doing, because you must be constantly in a training camp. I mean, that's exhausting.
It is, like, so I think I only had 2 weeks breaks in the Christmas holiday and straight back into it. Like,
Wow.
just no, yeah, it is tiring, but it's worth it in the end. And it's good when you've got a good team that's training with you as well, and a coach that's always on your back.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you
Yeah.
love it so much, you're just going to do it, aren't you? I mean, I'm sure there'll be days where you're like, oh, I'm tired or a bit fed up, but the big picture is you absolutely love it. You're passionate about it, so you
Yeah.
could be doing worse things.
Yeah, exactly. But like I wake up and I'm always like, oh, I don't want to do this. But then, no, I'm excited to do it, even though I'm so in pain. But I'm just like, no, I'm excited because I know the vibe when I get to the gym. It's just it's so comfortable.
Yeah.
And like, it just feels so much better when people believe in you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that confidence, like you say.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you'd not long given birth before you were asked to turn pro, but how many kids do you have?
I have 5 kids.
I remember
5
reading
children.
that and I was like, no, that's a mistake. There's no way you can have 5 kids and be a pro boxer. How do you juggle your time?
Oh my gosh. I am just lucky. I've got a really good supportive family who understand the sacrifices that we have to do. Like, they understand the sports. I come from a family who's very, very sporty. Like, they all play like rugby league, touch, tag. And so they understand sacrificing, and they're all willing to support me and back me. And so they help me with the kids, and we juggle. They make it work. We always make it work. So it's good having a good family. And also the gym, they love having kids up there too. So if I ever
Yeah.
get stuck, I take kids with me and they go running around, do whatever they want. So it's good.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
have any of them showed an interest in boxing if they are around you and obviously sometimes at the gym?
No. They should though. I think my daughter and my son are natural at it.
Oh,
They just
really?
sit and play around, but nah, they're not really interested. They're more interested in their own, like doing their own thing. Like my son, he's a high professional bowler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And my daughter, she's like right into Te Reo Māori. So yeah, it's a bit of a mixture. But they love seeing me. They love seeing me fight and everything. Like my
Do you
daughter
let
hasn't
them,
missed.
do they, oh, really? Because I was going to say, like, do you let them watch? Because I know some boxers are like, absolutely not. But I think, why not? Like, they must be
Yeah,
so proud watching you.
yeah. Oh yeah, my daughter, she hasn't missed one fight. She's been to every single one.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's always like, yeah, I'll come watch you, mum. And
That's
my
some
son,
extra motivation.
so he's always like, I'll watch it online, mum, because he plays on bowls.
Yeah.
But otherwise, he would come. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but that's
Yeah.
extra motivation
Like,
knowing your kids are watching.
oh yeah, it does. It gives me like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like my kids are here. They give that extra support too.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. I mean, I've watched all the fights on YouTube of yourself. I'm
Oh
so
yeah.
excited to keep watching you. I hope you do have 10 fights this year. I cannot wait. So I've got in my head what I think
Sure.
your style is like, but how would you describe your style in boxing?
Ooh. So more like I used to be on my back foot. I used to be like a popping out tip tap, but now I'm more on my front foot, coming, wearing them down. So yeah, I'll tell I'm like a forward fighter.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was your fourth fight, so not the one you've just had, the one before. And I think you got the stoppage in like round one, a minute in, and it was just unbelievable. Like you say, you just come forward, but the power and just ruthless and non-stop. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, so I've been working, like, I love throwing body shots. Like, body shots are my favorite. Yeah. So like I never used to be like that. If you watch me in my amateur days, I used to be like, you'd freak out because I'd be like this little pitter patter, just running. And now I look at myself and I'm like, wow, I'm a forward pressure fighter now. And that's all because my coach, he was always like, no, you're born to fight forward. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. So I kind of know how to work both. I can work forward and back.
Yeah.
So if I was like wanted to change it up, I can. But I definitely like sitting on that front foot. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those body shots. I mean, because you got, what was your opponent called? I forgot now. I can't remember, but
Anna?
I think so. And where you'd got her with just a horrendous shot right to the ribs.
Yeah.
And I mean, I felt that. And obviously she took a knee, she got back up. But I think obviously you could sense that this is your win. And I think you got the stoppage about 20 seconds later. But yeah, it was brutal. But in 5 fights you've had 2 stoppages, haven't you?
Yes.
Pretty good.
And we have gone all the rounds. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did your last fight go? Because you fought only a few weeks ago, didn't you?
My last fight was actually really good. It was tough because I was like really sick and crook. I had been crook since December, but I still pushed through it. And it was my decision. Like my coach was like, "You sure you want to fight?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine," because I was like, "No, I want to do this." I was like, "I definitely want to get the fight. I need the experience because I just want to get the fights in because I'm like want to gain that experience, and I want to know where I'm at and what I've got to work on to become better and stronger." So I was just like, "No, I'm definitely going to take this fight." I took it, and it was a good fight. She gave it to me. So this was the second time we fought, and she gave it a lot harder. We both did, actually. So it was kind of like a real good war. And I enjoyed it too. She gave it.
Yeah. And they're great fights, I think, as well. Not even just for fans watching. I think you always hear fighters saying they love a war. I mean, as long as you're coming out on top. But you love a war. That's what you're in there for.
Yeah, exactly. You're in there for a war. You're not in there to look pretty. You're in a fight. And, we were both trading and she was giving it and I was giving it. So it was really good. It was nice to have someone just give it right back to me. I was like, wow, is this what it feels like? It was fun.
And you fought at quite a few different weight divisions, haven't you, at the minute?
Yeah. So I'm fighting at different weight divisions because there's just no females here. So, like, especially because of lockdown over the world, so I just can't get any fights. So I'm just like, I'll take any weight. I'm not scared, I'm not worried. I just want to get that ring time and stay current. So when the world does open up, bang, I'm ready.
Yeah, because I think that's a bit of an issue, isn't it? Especially being in New Zealand so far away. I know obviously you can then cross over with Australia, but at the minute, because of COVID, you can't, can you?
No. They're hoping soon they will. I think they were looking at May.
Okay, so not too far then.
Yeah, not too far, which would be good.
Yeah. So what weight do you want to settle at, or at least progress into?
So I normally sit at 55.
Mm-hmm.
That will be my weight division. 55.
Okay. But you've been fighting higher, haven't you?
Yeah. Just because there's no girls that weight.
Yeah.
There's nothing. So I'm just like, I might as well sit up because there's the fights.
Yeah.
And I want to stay current. I want to keep getting that more ring time, gain that experience. So when I do go overseas, I've got that experience.
Yeah. And do you have your eyes on anyone in your weight division?
No, I don't have anyone in my division that I've got my eyes set for, but anyone will do. I just want to get that. Just want to fight. To me, I just look at it. If you fight the best, that's the only way you're gonna get to be the best.
Yeah, definitely. I think in women's boxing that happens a lot more. I think part of that is there's a smaller pool, I suppose, to pick from. But I also just think you always hear female fighters like yourself just so much more willing to just early doors to just take on the best. That's how you are going to improve and learn and get yourself where you want to be.
Yeah, that's the only way you're going to get better and gain experience is by fighting the best. And if you get in the ring with the best, you got guts. That's good experience, and that's only the way you're going to get better and learn, and then you come on top.
Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah, definitely. So, do you have any future fights booked in currently?
Yes, so I've got a New Zealand title in 3.5 weeks, which is against Tanya Reid. So that one is the one I'm gunning for. I'm determined. I want this. I'm free for it. So I've definitely been busting my ass off. Since my last fight, I know what I've got to work on, and I've picked up the intensity and my strength, and it's definitely going to be hard.
Yeah.
And then I've got actually a couple in line. Actually, I've got one like a week and a half out from that one as well, in April the 9th. And then I've got one in May, and then might have one in June, and then my next one, the other one I've got locked in is October, which is it's for I forgot what title it is. It's against a lady from Wellington. I forgot her name.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you going to be having any rest in between these fights, or are you just in a way wanting to keep the momentum and just keep going from fight to fight?
I just want to keep the momentum and go from fight to fight. Yeah. Definitely. Try and get as many as I can, because I know, I just really want to get that experience and really get better. And I know this is the only way I'm going to grow is by fighting, because I know, if I want to be the best, I need to fight. And I know when that world opens, I'll be the girls are going to be a lot faster and tougher. So I want to make sure that I'm staying current and I'm staying on top of my game. And my goal is to be the best in the world.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's also exciting. I'm really excited for you. Before I let you go, so I know you've said you've not got your eye on anyone in particular, but you'll be going for a world title in the future, won't you? Your coach believes in you. You're going to have tons of fights. So how long do you think it'll be before you'll be able to put yourself in that position?
Probably 2 years. I think my coach said 2 years, and I reckon that's when COVID and everything should be settled by then, eh?
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
That's so exciting.
I've set it for in 2 years.
Yeah,
hopefully,
definitely.
mate. All right, you never know.
That's it. I mean, you just never know. And we've got quite a few UK fighters who have progressed. They've taken their chances and they've had a world title fight after 7-8 fights. So I think and I think that's what COVID's helped more in the UK, I think, is, you've kind of had to fight who's put in front of you. Obviously, there's a slightly bigger pool here, but like you say, once the doors open and COVID's hopefully gone and we've got some normality, then hopefully. But yeah, I mean, can you imagine in 2 years' time you're going to be a world champion?
Yeah, hopefully. Should be.
It's exciting.
As long as I get my game up.
That's it. Well, Mea, thank you so much for your time. I've really, really enjoyed that. And it's been amazing to listen to your story as well and how you became a professional after 8 years out. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Good luck in all your fights. I'm definitely going to be watching.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, good luck. And yeah, we're going to have to catch up soon. So after a few more fights, we're going to have to catch up again. I have to keep up to date with all of these fights.
Yes, that'd be good.
Right. Good luck, and I will speak to you soon.
Yay. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, ready for new content dropping all the time. Also, give Women's Fight News a follow on Twitter and on Instagram.